morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome in. We have made it to Thursday already. Week's almost over. What's up, everybody? Good morning. How you guys doing?
Hi, I'm Gina. And I'm Todd. And this is our
Of course, I get an ad immediately. Why wouldn't I? What's up, Lance? What's up, Rick Rod? Discipline, Snacks. Good morning. Good morning. Boba, what's up, man? Good morning. How you guys doing? I'm repping my Penny Lane podcast shirt. Well, we lost. Hello. Sorry, Blaine, I'm trying. There we go. Oh my gosh, look at that. The camera is struggling. You can do this, camera. I believe in you. There we go. What's up, Potsy? Good morning. How's everybody doing? For Nurky, good morning, afternoon. Yeah, so I start the stream out saying, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and then the rest of the day I just say good morning, so I gotta leave you guys out. Good day. Good day to everyone. Just be Australian. What we got going on? Anything cool this morning yet? So top gainer is MF up 52%. That's not right. So it is from 15 cents to 40. It's a penny stock. I think I saw this running after hours yesterday, or late. So I don't see anything on it. I think it's just a bounce. Just the penny stock bounce is all I see. IMMX. Just a bounce from the bottom too, it looks like. Yeah, nothing fresh on that either. So IMMX, the one that had the decent run recently from like 150 to 350. And then it sold back off right to the 50 SMA, so it's getting a little bounce. What's up, Derek? Good morning. Rustin, good morning. MF is the China food play. Okay. PDSB FDA news. Okay, let's look at that. I've traded that before for sure. So yeah, the daily was in death level. Did get a spike though. So we got a decent like dollar spike there. Let's look PDSB. So here's the news for this. PDSB granted FDA fast track news for lead candidate. And what did they do? Head and neck cancer. So there you go. So it's cancer treatment FDA fast track designation. So that's pretty good. This will be a watch today for sure. And I think the float's pretty low too. Let me look over here. 23 million. So yeah, pretty small float. Definitely means it can move. You guys taking any trades yet this morning, or just kind of chilling for now? Doesn't look too crazy yet. Need to fix this. There we go. Yeah. So those two are up, and then PDSB just had the news. Must be, yeah, it's down here on the gainers. RPTX, third top gainer, up 28%. Okay, you're in TNXP right now. Okay. Yeah, head and neck cancer with FDA news is definitely a big watch. RPTX. So they had news yesterday after hours. Announced a worldwide license and collaboration agreement with Roche, I think it is, for their drug. They will receive 125 million upfront and an additional 1.2 billion in potential development sales. So that's why that's up. So that's a money thing for them. A little bit more expensive stock, not too much more expensive though. The 50 SMA is at 1129, so that's what it's hanging at right now. So it's up hanging around the 50 SMA resistance on the daily. Level 2 is very thin. And the volume is very low. It's only had 498K volume, 499K volume today. Chewy was the earnings after hours. Must have been good earnings, up 20%. Let's see, the 50 SMA on Chewy is at 35, but Chewy is a little bit larger cap, so it's going to have a lot to do with the S&P 500 movement today. But that's good because, I mean, SPY had already bounced, and this was near yearly lows, so that good earnings is going to turn the tide for it, or at least it should short term. So yeah, leave PDSB up there. SPY. So we sold off end of day. Actually, no, right here. We sold off into after hours yesterday because of the earnings and the Facebook COO left. Like there was a couple combination of things that happened. So we sold off here down to around the 408 level again. But this morning we're gapped back up to 411, 412. So it's trading in a range. Yesterday I was watching this 408 level to hold. It actually broke below and then back up, and it looked like it was going to like do an H pattern, and they finally ended up buying it at around 407 instead of 408. So that was a level on the daily. Wait, I'm not doing this. These ads this morning. So 408 was a level I was watching yesterday all day because that is this candle's top around 408. So for it to come back down and test it and actually close back above that, that's pretty good overall for the daily. Yeah, bios have been hot. Bios have been hot. Yesterday we had TNXP in pre-market. That was a solid trade. So TNXP was good. I think it ended up selling. It gave back almost all its gains yesterday. But we caught this nice move here and here. And then it ended up having one more that we weren't a part of, or at least I wasn't. And then it opened. It was very wicky, traded sideways, but ended up breaking upwards towards 450. Never went any higher than that. After this, it's like sell algos turned on. It got very heavy, and they just walked it down. So I think if we hold over 408, it could test back up here again. Overall, for the daily, you really... Hold on, I just spotted a trend line in my head. So there's a upper trend. We broke this lower trend to the upside. That's why we had those 3 huge days. But the upper trend line now is around 422. If it lasts a few more days, it would get all the way down to 420. So we're hanging out. If we ended up getting above this trend line, we'll be doing really good. Because this is a trend line that's been setting up since March of this year. But it could also pull back down here. It's trying to form maybe like a inverse head and shoulder on the daily. So this shoulder would need to hang out here. It could go a little lower. If we did end up spilling down over here, though, that's not good at all. Like under 400 down towards 390 at this point. Especially if we consolidate here a few days and then give it up. That's not going to be great. They can always buy it back up and send it on, but that specific breakdown would not be good after we broke this trend line recently. And I'll draw this for anybody wondering what I'm talking about. This is the downtrend line, roughly, that we broke a couple days ago and put us back in the 400 territory. So now we've got a more broad, more longer time frame trend line to watch. And then you can also do one more from the absolute top to this top. So that has us getting through 420, 425, and then we'd have to get up to like 450. So that's the 3 overall trend lines I see that would hold SPY down. Holding it up, though, there's not a whole lot. It was kind of a falling wedge here, but that's about it. What's up, AC? How's it going, man? But I did get off on kind of a tangent on SPY. SPY is not really going crazy this morning. So PDSB has pulled back under 4, down to the 90 EMA on the 5, though. That RPTX play is still hanging out right here. It needs over 1130, it looks like. It's got a 10K ask. Very low volume. Very, very low volume. I usually don't like the super cheap pennies. Trying to trade those action. They're usually very heavy. Let me see how heavy this one is. Okay, it's not super heavy. AMC got a little spike yesterday on the GameStop earnings, but then it just stuck there. So it's still holding this low, but that straight up like run that it was having here is over. It's due a bounce day, but it could pull back to 12 first. GameStop had a negative reaction at first to the earnings, then a positive reaction, and then back to the middle. So, you look at the PDSB level 2. PDSB. So there's a 9K ask at 395. I don't know if that's something that somebody's walking down, because I just pulled up the level 2 for the first time. You guys see anything else? I think I've went over pretty much everything in play at this moment. Let me look at like a red box. So red box hit that resistance level again on the daily, and now it's sold off for 4 straight days pretty much. I don't know if it could do it again. I don't know if it can surge here, sell all the way off, surge here, sell all the way off, and then surge to highs again. So we'll see about that one. BKSY. It had its pullback day yesterday. Sort of a T2. It's not a full T2 though. It only went from 240 to 370. But it's an inside bar play, to say the least. So that can always spike again. It's holding roughly 275. So you want to see it hold 270 to 275, and then getting back over 3 is a big level for BKSY. BTTX, I think, may have finally given up. Yeah, so that doesn't look good anymore. It looked good here. It looked like it was going to have a liquidity blow off the top, and it never did. Big Boom 2020. Good morning. What do I think of UON and CARB? Okay, so those are the BLM stocks. They could get that run up, and it looks like they are actually getting that Juneteenth run up. So it's slowly melting into the sky. I actually haven't pulled this one up in a while, but it's getting that Juneteenth run up. Will it run to Juneteenth? Will it have a huge liquidity sell-off before then? I don't know. Let me see. I bet CARB's similar, huh? Yep. So they're both melting up to their catalyst. Sometimes they'll go all the way till a couple days before, and then sometimes people will start taking profits like way before. So, but it is definitely in the middle of that run up. Those are both very low float, so they can move. They haven't been getting huge volume. UONE. But they've been consistently moving up. Yeah, no problem. So they're on. Just make sure, I think the liquidity dump would happen underneath like a trend. And this is like a rough upper trend. See, it's broken below a little bit. But as long as it stays steady upwards, it should be good. But if you start having this big, like, huge sell-off day and everybody's liquidating, that's probably it. Yeah, BYFC's in there. CARB. OPHC, I think, sort of went with it. Oxbridge, OXBR. There were a few more. So this got a bounce. PDSB bounced off of low 390s. RPTX still holding this strange level. Needs through 1130 still. So PDSB is still pretty much overall low volume too. 594K. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, there's been no candle close over 410 yet on PDSB. It really needs to get much more volume. Hey Adam, is it Casper? Thanks for the sub. Mullen. Yeah, so old Todd Alt, you know, the Nile guy, the looks like a used car salesman. He went on a podcast yesterday and was talking about Mullen. I think the Mullen car was like his background. And this is what happened. Not good. People do not like him. So it sold off pretty hard. It's still holding the 120 range, which I was looking at, is the level it consolidated here before the break up. So I think 120 is a big level to hold over. It can push back up. It absolutely can push back up. But I think it needs to roughly hold 120. You don't want to see it diving down here. So if it can hold over 120 for a while, it's a heavy one. And it may have lost its momentum now that it had this big waterfall. So it's going to be much slower than it has been the last couple days. But I think holding the 120 level is pretty big. Why had PDSB sold off so hard right here? Was there news before that came out? Was everybody just expecting the news to be bad, I guess? No, it had news. It had a different news on May 31st. On Monday, or on Tuesday. And it still didn't go. Not entirely sure why it has such negative action. But I have traded this before. It's been a good while, but probably back here in 2020, early 21. I think I had a run mid 21. I didn't realize it made it all the way up to 18 bucks. JR Saint, what up? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Good morning. Or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Thank you. Yeah, so Noah turns 1 on the 9th. So he is almost 1 year old already. Blows my mind. And then baby number 2, we go to our first appointment on the 10th. So the day after Noah's first birthday. So it's great. We're excited. So this is still trying to hold the 390 level. Nothing crazy happening. This is pulling back now. Something's got to pop up. Maybe 8:30 news will pop something fresh. It's like someone's intentionally trying to shove PDSB down. Because they've got a huge ask that just keeps popping up on the ask and walking down, walking down. So we've got that going on. RPTX back down to 11. It had all that commercialization news. Hey, thank you, Big Boom. I appreciate it. BOTG snacks. Let's look. Oh my god. Very funny. Oh, I thought you just made up a ticker to screw with me. BTOG. Bit Origin. Sounds legit. Yeah, 30%, but on literally one candle. BTOG. What's today? The 2nd. Now I had news at 8. Sounds letter of intent to purchase 850 Bitcoin miners. Yep, PDSB. Okay, it's got a bidder now. You got a 10K bidder on PDSB. So it is moving back up a little. Yeah, sounds like SOS, Nile. I was just talking about all those other small ones. Just trying to be relevant in the Bitcoin world. When Bitcoin is now still trading at 30K. So we get fresh news in a minute and a half. So hopefully something pops that we can actually trade. PDSB, I don't like the low volume. If the volume would start coming in, or if it start trading up near 410, testing that level, I would be more likely to trade it. But down here, I feel like you're kind of buying and hoping that the volume's going to come in. You're trying to expect continuation instead of actually playing the momentum and continuation. So Amazon is up to the split. The split is very soon. It's on Friday. I don't know if it's Friday morning or Friday after hours, but it's been on a tear. It went all the way from about 2050 to 2500, straight up. So everybody was buying into that hype, into the run up to the split. Because the thought process is that after the split, you're going to get new investors. Oh, you're in. Okay, sweet. That's a great ad. Great job. I think you're probably solid there. Eventually, it does see the gap, in my opinion. I think eventually it does see the gap because it's Amazon. It has been selling off with the market, yes, but Amazon, it's like, you know how Netflix fell off, but Netflix fell off because it got so much competition. Amazon, they don't really have a competitor. They do, but they're Amazon. They are the lead dog in every way. So I think they'll just continue to go up unless something, either a new competitor happens or something big happens to their business. Okay, 8:30 news. Trying to read through it here, see if I like anything. VXRT positive preliminary data from phase 1B. That is really all I see. Whoops. Collaboration yields another patent application to treat cocaine addiction. That's not huge either. Yeah, if PDSB can get over 410, I think it would be decent. RWLK. Why didn't I see that? I see an 8K at 811. Okay, so they released it through an 8K for some reason at 811 this morning. Share repurchase program of 8 million. RPTX still pushing here. Little volume now, and it still needs up to that 1130 level. Oh shoot, I had it down here. PDSB pushing up towards the 410 level. Still not much volume. Still not many bids. But if the volume increases, if we start getting towards 410 level, it may be a trade. Same with RPTX. If we got up to the 1130 range, it may be a trade through that, depending on the volume. PDSB has a 5K wall at 405. RPTX's wall is actually a little lower now. It was 10K. It's only 2,500. Both very low volume. One's 800K, one's 700K. IMMX is now the top gainer. And it hasn't even moved. It's just MF sold back off a little. So this one has room on the daily. RPTX. So it's around the 50 SMA right now. Over that, it's been wicky, but it's got a lot of range. Jesus, good morning. How are you, man? So RPTX, a little volume there through 1130. Okay, back down under 1130 now. Kind of happened too fast to even take a trade. So it needs to get back up and push through 1130. So thin, looking at the level 2. Wow. Nothing really. We're watching PDSB over 410 and this RPTX through 1130. No candles actually closed over 1120. So 1120 to 1130 range to get through on RPTX, and PDSB needs volume through 410. That's about it. Yeah, so I've actually traded them with .000 through the trade bar before, but you can't get it on the matrix for some reason on some tickers. So this is pulling back a little. It needs to hold over like 1105. PDSB pushing up to 410 now. Let's see if it gets the volume through 410. 10K ask now 407. I was more interested in this one, RPTX, but the volume came in and then went away, so it really needs to, one of the two need to continue to hold the volume. Neither one of them have a million volume yet on the day. Over 410, we have to look at the daily. And the daily blows. Bottom end support here was 467. 480. So maybe like 450 to 480. It's hard to tell because it sold off so fast. There's really no levels that are great to go by. This morning it went straight to 450 and sold back off, so it's hard telling. Nothing really great looking this morning at all. But it is what it is. I mean, sometimes pre-market's bad and intraday's good. Sometimes pre-market's good and intraday's bad. So that's how to see how it goes. Yeah, we were talking about BKSY a little bit ago. Yeah, holding like 270 to 275 is the key level, and then getting back over 3. Think that is the key level. So PDSB pushed up near 410, never got the volume through. This one's failing now. BKSY has a 23K bidder at 283. Let's see if PDSB. Yeah, I don't know about that one. It's acting strange. It's got low volume, but I mean, it could get a buy off the low end here, like the 20 EMA on the 5. Not a huge fan of the action so far, though, especially considering that volume spike was pushing it through the breakout level and it failed it really hard. Yeah, I trade on the 5-minute for the most part. Unless it's really extended, I'll switch to the 1. So PDSB just got some volume up to 410 now. Through 410, 415. Needs to continue through though. 412, they threw up an ask. So 412 ask is getting hit a little bit. 2,500 on the ask. Next ask is 415. So they did not break through that. So it got through 410 for just a second and then pulled right back. So it still needs to push up through here, but I mean that should have been the breakout zone, and it did the exact same thing this did. Good volume spike red. Good volume spike red. All out TNXP 291 to 305. Great job. Slow and steady. It was do a bounce. Good ads. Good follow through. Yeah, the daily level on the 50 SMA on the daily has been resistance on this one. Oh man, this music has put me to sleep. Let's try something else. This is one that gets ads, but whatever. Oh my god, it is not going to let me get through without an ad. Whatever.
Good ideas deserve to be found. Personalized ads help you find them. Visit meta.com/support small business.
BKSY has a little bit of volume tapping right here. Very low, but it's got a decent bidder too. So yeah, we'll definitely keep this one on watch too, because it's sort of a T2. It's more of an inside bar. It's not a full like 100% T2, but it's an inside bar that can definitely push higher. PDSB, after selling all the way down, has now pushed back up to 414 level. Yep, slow and steady on PDSB. Very low volume. It's acting very strange, but it's pushing higher. 415 has a 14K ask. Yeah, so usually for an entry, I usually play like momentum, so it's going to be higher volume. I try to buy either, and more lately, I'll try to buy the pullback instead of the breakout. But I would try to buy, like, say, if this 1125, 1130 was breaking out and continuing with volume, you would take entry into the candle and then scale over the high of day wick. So just start scaling down, scaling down, scaling down, and then risk your entry level. Like TNXP yesterday was a good example. We had, I was adding at, where was it at? 334, I think. So I was adding down here at 334. It was right at the 9 on the 5. And then I was risking, I think, right under 330. And then when this popped, I was scaling up near 350. And then I held a small core and got the same position again, pretty much. And it popped again. So I try to buy near the EMAs if I can on a pullback, play patterns, and then scale on the break up. Like PDSB is kind of hard for me to find an entry unless you're just guessing down here like I was talking about earlier. And it did work out this time. I mean, you guessed down here that volume will come in, and it did. But you couldn't play really the 410 breakout here because it broke up, sold back off, and then down. So maybe the only entry on this would have been that red candle down to VWAP after the breakout. But that's really it. It's just kind of, it went straight down, now it's curled straight up. So it's a tough entry one for PDSB. Just created a V bottom and is melting up now. Good morning, Shiny. What's up? It's 8:45 and we still do not have really anything to trade. We're watching BKSY to hold this level. It's got a decent bid, maybe push over 290. PDSB is melting into the sky on its own. What was it? RPTX tried to break out and failed. BTOG. Junior Saint with that $50 donation. Oh my gosh. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's huge. $50 donation. You the man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. No real big play yet. Dropping 50 bombs. Yeah, we just have a few different setups right now. This is pulled back up towards 1130, PDSB, but nothing really clear. But one more time, JR, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So let's pull up RPTX one more time, see if it's actually going to break through this time. Still no 5-minute candle close over 1120. So that's the first level. Sorta. I mean, it's being strange, that's for sure, but you want to see this push higher up through these levels. Siga, Mr. Monkeypox, let's look. I don't know. I think Siga has just became a trading body. It's got all this room now. The daily set up that it has potential to just keep going, you know. So every day it's just going to get that little bit of action. Went down to the 200 on the 5 and pushed back up. Top gainer's MF again. It's 35 cents. But the top gainer's only 43% today. So it's pretty weak overall for a Money Thursday. So SIGA actually getting a little pop. Is there fresh monkeypox something? No? Not that I see. Not that I'm seeing. So yeah, RPTX. Oh, 2 minutes ago. What? Why am I not seeing that? I don't see that on Fast Stock News or Walter Bloomberg. Cool, thanks, Adam. Oh, it was Toss. Okay, so resident of World Organization for Animal Health, evidence of monkeypox and susceptibility in various species of shrews, squirrels, and rats. So, fresh monkeypox news. So SIGA is like the lead dog in the monkeypox business. Great job on PDSB. Who was that was trading it? Discipline. Yeah, if you're still in that, great job. That was a tough one to add. I mean, you could have added down there on the 9 on the 5 and just kind of waited for volume to come in because the news was good. But that's just melted straight up now. Great job. So it came to the point where nothing else had potential, so somebody wanted to trade something. There you go. Just for you. Yeah, so someone needed to trade something, so they just they went with PSB, I guess. We got 50 in here. Thanks everybody for showing up. It's kind of been a slow morning to go over, but we've had a few things, had a couple charts, have a couple setups. PDSB has been the best play. I didn't take it at all. I was a doubter from the get-go, and it has just melted. We'll get up there eventually. I mean, this is just week 3. We'll get up to 500, hopefully 1,000 people in here in the morning. Yeah, no problem, Chris. Yeah, SIGA was the monkeypox. The monkey business. So RPTX still being low volume, very volatile. I don't even see an entry on PDSB. They walked it down and now they're just walking it straight up. So I try to trade the best risk reward setups and try to time them up in the right area. And this one has not had a good setup for me. I mean, you had to buy maybe the 9 on the 1 pullbacks. It had that one pullback, and now it's just straight up. There's no logical entry, and I will not chase. I will never chase. The only chase I'll ever do is buying a breakout. But now this thing is just straight up. I hope you're still riding it. If you bought it, I hope you're still riding it. Nothing wrong with scaling some out as you go up, because that was kind of the parabolic move right there. Melt up, melt up, melt up, melt up, and then the para stick. So that's when you see like it's slow and steady and you have a big candle, that's usually a scale point. Because finally the shorts or whoever's given up and the buyers, they're like, oh my god, I'm just going to miss out. It's just going to go to the moon. I got to buy. That's the point where you got to think in your head like, okay, this is like mass. This is the max level of either pain for the short or I got to get in this for the buyers. And that's when you need to start scaling out. You got to do the opposite of what everybody else is thinking. Which would have been great for the entry down here too. I mean, everybody's thinking, oh, it just popped. No big deal. We already sold back off. Don't even look at it. So TNXP, let me go back to that yesterday. That was a good example that we actually traded that worked out really nicely. And this is a recent example. So it was kind of trading sideways, kind of like this is now, and then finally went up. But after it did push the 350 level, it had the 2 candle pullback here, down to the 9 on the 5, and then it had the next candle in the same zone. So when you see a break up, 2 candle pullback to a support level, ideally the 9 on the 5, and it's almost like a flag, not a perfect flag, and you don't go any lower. Oh my gosh. Look at this. That hurts to watch. That's a strange chart pattern right there. But came back perfectly, held right here. I think our entries yesterday were 334. So we're adding right here. Low risk. You're risking 4 cents. And you already have potential for 350 because it already hit it once. And then it got the push through to high of day. So that's like picture perfect flagpole, flag, breakout. Did you take PDSB? I'm guessing you have 383, 385, 390. It had like a 8K ask down there at 395. But then this was a little less convincing because after this breakout, it was trying to form a 3-bar and go higher. It went higher by 2 cents and then pulled back. So this is why I didn't play this one, because it pulled back, was just trading ugly sideways, and then ripped. You took 405? Yeah, so I used the 9 EMA, the 20 EMA, the 50 SMA, and the 200 SMA. So I guess, right here would have been a good entry. If you're watching the 1, it went up through VWAP, pulled back, and then up through VWAP again, and then ever since it just kind of strangely rode this 9 EMA. FDA news is weird sometimes, though. Like, it can have the best sounding headline in the world and not do a thing. But, melting into the sky, I guess, was the theme for this one. This sounds like some, like Lord of the Rings in the Shire. It did say neck cancer. You're right. The old neck cancer. Gotta love that. Yeah, for real. And then there's like a random chihuahua barking in the background. That's what it sounds like. But yeah, that was a solid move. Good job, Steven. So it went right to the 450 level, which was the spike level from this morning. So it made the full move. But these are really hard for me personally to trade because I like patterns. I like setups. I like break up kind of flag, and this is just, I call this the Nike swoosh pattern. I always call this the Nike swoosh. You get a push up, you go down, and then you just melt into the sky. And does this not look like a Nike swoosh? Very low entry levels. You just got to buy small pullbacks and just cross your fingers, close your eyes, and ride it to the sky. Kind of like an NIK, yep. But, okay, so this was actually the first decent pattern, or actually 2 in a row here. So, 1 minute, you had a 3-bar. Mother candle, inside the candle, higher. And then, this one, you went higher, 2 candle pullback to the 9 EMA, then higher. So it's finally forming a little bit of patterns now that we've broken out. This may have been algos loading down here that just melted up. I've noticed a lot of melt ups are just programs, that just keep buying, keep buying, keep buying, keep buying, keep buying, keep buying. And then it'll finally get retail in once the volume come. See, the volume didn't come in until here. And I hate that my plus and minus. But the volume didn't come in until down here, which was right in this level. It was already 420. But the 390 to 420 level was just low volume, just tick, 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 bid up, tick. But the daily was so jacked. This thing has room. It just sold off huge a couple days ago. So we were looking at the 460 to 480. Actually, so 460 to 5 has a lot of resistance. 450 we were talking about just had resistance because of the wick that it made. That's a solid move, though. Did not expect that type of move to happen on this one. So 9 a.m. news comes out in about 30 seconds. We'll see if we get anything else. because the pickings are very thin right now. And the only trade there's been has just been straight looking like it was dying into a huge melt up. So haven't had a whole lot. Where's Sig at now? So Sig has pulled back from the pop. We got at 9 here. BRQS completes 16 million strategic funding for growth of its solar software. BRQ, I think that's a penny. BRQS. Yep. So BRQS news. Let me keep reading here. PMCB share repurchase program. SRNE, I always avoid that news. So BRQS went up to 20 tests for just a second. That's not bad news for it, really. Daily has some room. Probably needs to just get up through 20 first. Yeah, we looked at MF. I didn't see anything on it. But it's another penny that's up. Somebody said it was Chinese food company, I think. But I don't see any news on it at all. Looks like just a bounce. So BRQS got volume and then lost all the volume immediately. It only got 1 million volume on that. Yeah, PMC pop and drop. Yeah, Redbox getting a little action, you're right. 100K bidder came in BRQS at 19 cents. Did something come out on Redbox? Or are we just playing the game again? This song, we've heard this one before. This sounds like the Rubber Duck song. So, yeah, Redbox was due a bounce on the daily. But just never dies. Keeps coming back for more. So this one, RPTX still has had no 5-minute candle close over 1120. BRQS. Still getting some taps. Surprised it didn't get more volume on that. News on a penny stock under 20 usually gets decent volume. It has all that range through 20 to at least 22. Got a gap to 25. So Redbox Daily, it's kind of been in sell-off mode. It's probably going to have resistance right here. 650 to 7. There's a lot of action right here. Yeah, we were talking about Mullen earlier, I think, before you showed up, Shiny. 120 level's big to hold. And it was actually, I think it was like 126, 125 when we were talking about that. So if it stays over 120, I think that's the line in the sand. Over, under 120. Over 120, I think it can continue higher. Under 120, it's probably going to quit. Or at least lose its buyers. It's a pretty good song. RPTX peaking above that 1120 level. Still got 4 minutes left on this candle for it to close over, but it is trying. Needs up through 1130 to push to 1150. BRQS still hanging around 19 to 20, ping-ponging a little bit. Yep, I was doing ad. I was doing ad.
Natural beauty that TimberTech finds inspiration to create lifelike reflections of the look of real wood found in our high-performance decking products, perfectly capturing natural beauty without ever harming nature itself. TimberTech offers the real look of wood without ever compromising quality, performance, longevity, or design. All so you can build an outdoor space unlike any other. TimberTech. Go against the grain.
I created a new outro for the stream too yesterday. Nothing crazy fancy, but trying to tweak things, you know, make this look as good as possible. I'm eventually going to get the mic, going to get the camera, but we're working our way. I mean, we're still on week 3. Okay, I need something a little more upbeat than this. There we go. So nothing besides that PDSB melt up has even happened this morning. This might, so it's open and a little weaker, so we might actually get a little continuation in after open on PDSB. This one pulling the same BS, couldn't hold over 1120, failing again. I knew it was too much time. If it was a 906 and it was over 1120, that took a long time to hold over, and it never did. So top gainer still MF. So my top watches, I guess, are going to be BRQS for maybe a penny run to 25 cents. PDSB might hold the 9 and VWAP here and push higher. If not, maybe a dip and rip at open. RPTX, I'm not liking the action so far at all. Siga on the fresh monkeypox headline this morning. It goes to hedgehogs or something. I don't remember what it was. IMMX. Just a daily bounce. Hold 240, break 280. It's really the play on that. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to step away for just a second. Alright, I'm back. Hope you enjoyed the chair cam. I see nothing moved at all. This bounced a little. PDSB, 9 on the 5 in VWAP. Please never stop the morning streams. I'll be your voice commentary. Make my mornings try many mornings. Streams like Warrior Trading. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that discipline. I plan to continue this for as long as I can. I like doing it. It's a fun morning thing to do. Gets everybody prepped for the Open. Might start to continue into the Open later on. Right now with this camera, my camera likes to die or start to die like right at the time that I usually pop off. But maybe in the future, we'll go a little longer. So that was a nice bounce there off the VWAP level and the 9 EMA on the 5 on PDSB. Still only up 17%. You guys see anything else? Any other charts you want to go over? Got about 8 minutes left till 9:20. Not too much happening. So that's PDSB. I don't know. I just haven't had the right feel for this one this morning. That would have been a good entry there on the 9 and VWAP though. GovX still in play, but I think it's going to be dependent on SIGA. And then if SIGA and GovX go, then you got to watch TNXP as the third one. What's up, Berkey? Good morning. How you doing, man? So yeah, GovX has room on the daily if it can get popping again over 215. So that'll be a big watch today, actually. GovX over 215. So that's more of a back burner, especially if SIGA goes, but the daily is set up really nicely on GovX. Well, let's see where the overall market's at. Okay, so the overall market is selling off. Was that based on Oh, Microsoft. Microsoft cuts Q4 guidance on additional FX impact 7 minutes ago. So SPY is cliff diving with Microsoft.
At Target, your dollar goes further. For just $4.49, stock up on essentials like a 4-pack of Scott bath tissue, 1,000 sheets per roll, and a great deal. And that's just the start.
Ford just had a headline. I don't know if that's an actual fresh headline or just kind of a news article. But Microsoft is down now because of the outlook for Q4. Yeah. Yep, you can thank Microsoft for that. Yep, so SPY might retest 408, may go test 405 today with this opening action, or this action right before open at least. PDSB still set up on the 5-minute here. Could push higher. I'm glad it's not at high of day at open. Maybe watch for a dip to 425 level at open and hammer up through highs. It could still push up to 475, $5 range. BRQS, I keep mentioning this one. It's a penny one with news. Over 20. It's got room to 22 and 25. RPTX is a setup, but I don't like the action so far. It's like an all-morning flag, though, to just ramp. So I think as soon as it gets that 5-minute close over 1120, it can really let loose, but they're not letting it yet. So I think today might be more of a day that things set up after the open. Like a clear runner is going to show its face after open. Because really nothing has happened in pre-market at all. You got this melt up, but it only brought the stock up 17%. Top gainer is a 36-cent penny. I don't know what that one is. That looks almost exactly like PDSB did at the beginning. SPRB. Nothing that I see. So the watches for today, I think BRQS, Pennyland through 20 to maybe 22.25. PDSB continuation, maybe 475, $5. Watch for a hammer candle at open. RPTX needs through this 1120 level. If it can get a 5-minute candle close over 1120, could push this high wick 1145, maybe test 1150. GovX through 215 just based on the daily. It's going to have a lot to do with SIGA though, so if SIGA really breaks loose, that helps this one even more. What else we got? What else we got? BKSY over 270, 275 level to push towards 3 again. It's really kind of coiled up right here in pre-market, so it can either waterfall off or push straight up kind of right here. So just watch for the hold around the 270 level. Besides that, I don't see a whole lot. There might be something just randomly pop up. I mean, oil may go crazy for some weird reason. We got oilers running. You never know. But the market's trying to sell off right now, so overall market doesn't look the best in the world. But we take whatever the market gives. We try to make the most of it, and that's it. That's all you can do. You can always hope for things to be a little better, but you always have to take what's in front of you, and that's it. But I think right there, I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Thanks for everybody being here. We got over 50 people at one point. Thank you for the $50 donation, JR. Really appreciate that. That's huge. Thanks for just hanging out. Thanks for all the questions, the charts, everything this morning, guys. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. Peace out.